It's Tuesday, June 23rd. Let's take a look at a key development in Korea's industry sector. Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're taking you into this massive split happening right now across Korean industry.
Right. It's a really stark bifurcation.
Yeah, it really is. We're tracking two radically diverging trajectories here. On one hand, you have heavy machinery and defense just soaring. I mean, we're seeing a 23.3% jump in overseas orders and a historic credit rating for Hanwha.
Exactly. And then on the flip side,
Right. At the exact same time, GM Korea just saw its operating profit completely collapse by 64%.
yeah, it's a wild contrast. The machinery data is really the clear accelerator here.
Yeah.
In early 2026, overseas machine tool orders surged 23.3%.
Wow.
Yeah, hitting 798.1 billion won, which is, roughly 570 million US dollars.
Huh.
And the driver underneath this is just the massive global capital expenditure and AI infrastructure.
It's the classic picks and shovels play, right?
Yeah.
But upgraded for the digital age. I mean, Korea isn't trying to build the smartest AI brain. They're selling the titanium skull and the nervous system needed to house it. Supplying those high-precision tools required to actually build the data centers and the semiconductor inspection equipment.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
And that physical infrastructure boom is translated directly into heavy industry dominance. Take Hanwha Aerospace, for example.
Right.
They just secured an S&P A- credit rating.
Yeah.
And that's because they've built up this staggering 37 trillion won order backlog.
Which is like 26 billion US dollars, right?
Yeah, about 26 billion US dollars. They aren't just selling individual parts anymore. They are securing these massive long-term international contracts.
Which guarantees revenue for years.
Exactly. And that fundamentally transforms their financial stability.
So while homegrown Korean companies like Hanwha are, controlling their own destiny and reaping the rewards of this global boom, subsidiaries of foreign giants are facing a much harsher reality.
Yeah, they are getting seriously squeezed.
Right, which brings us to auto exports.
Specifically looking at GM Korea in 2024. So they altered their transfer pricing to fully absorb a 25% U.S. import tariff.
And just as a quick reminder, transfer pricing is essentially the internal price that different divisions of the same global company charge each other.
Right, exactly. So by tweaking those internal accounting prices, the U.S. parent forced the Korean subsidiary to eat the entire cost of that tariff.
Ouch.
Yeah, the effect was immediate and brutal. GM Korea's operating profit plummeted 64% down to 489.8 billion won.
Roughly 350 million US dollars.
Right.
Wait, hold on, that doesn't make sense to me. Why is GM Korea taking this massive hit on the chin while simultaneously scraping together a 2 trillion won dividend payout for its US parent?
Which is about 1.4 billion US dollars, yeah.
Right, like if you look at domestic players like Hyundai and Kia, they share the burden with their US importers. So why is GM Korea so uniquely vulnerable here?
Well, it comes down entirely to who holds the power in that parent-subsidiary dynamic. I mean,
Right.
Hyundai and Kia control both ends of their pipeline. Yeah, meaning they can strategically distribute the tariff pain across their global operations, to protect their overall margins. GM Korea just doesn't have that autonomy.
Because the American parent dictates the terms.
Exactly. They dictate the transfer pricing, shielding the U.S. side, and leaving the Korean subsidiary fully exposed.
Wow, okay, so to distill this down for you, what does this all mean for Korean competitive positioning moving forward? Well, the 23.3% surge in overseas machine tool orders confirms that the AI infrastructure capex cycle is now a structural demand driver for Korean industrial exporters.
Concurrently, Hanwha Aerospace's A- rating signals that Korean defense is graduating from a regional supplier into a credible global prime contractor.
Conversely, GM Korea's situation exposes how U.S. tariff policy is fracturing intra-firm supply chains, leaving Korean auto subsidiaries with American parents carrying asymmetric tariff exposure.
Yeah, it's a huge shift. And this leaves you with an important question to ponder as you watch the markets. If intra-firm supply chains are fracturing under this kind of tariff pressure, how will multinational subsidiaries fundamentally restructure their global footprints to survive future trade friction?
Definitely something to watch, especially for those of you tracking the Keiko's PI. That's today's AI Prism Industry Daily. This episode was produced with AI assistance based on Seoul Economic Daily reporting and reviewed by a human editor. AI Prism is a Juan Ifro award-winning series. We'll be back tomorrow.